Well, welcome people. This one is all going to be about Elon Musk. Now don't turn off. No, stay with me. Don't turn off. There's a lot of Musk lovers out there. Can I just say that from this very ongoing point? But I'll also say there's a lot of Musk haters. You all know that I run this car, which is a Tesla Model 3, have done now for over 2.5 years. But I'm no Musk fanboy. Let me make that quite clear. I'm no Musk fanboy because of quite a few different things, really. There's not one that makes me dislike the man or like him. But I'm going to go through a few, and I'm going to have my say regarding what's happening with Tesla and Elon Musk. To the haters out there, I don't want to come over as if I agree with you. And also, for the fanboys, I don't want to 100% agree with you. I want middle ground with this guy. And I think there is some middle ground with him. Okay, now, there has been a lot of bad press in the last 2 to 4 months. I think the two things that stick out are, one, for my American subscribers and watchers, and that is the support that he's supposedly giving to Donald Trump. Yeah, we all know he's an old fart. Sorry if there's any of my subscribers actually vote for Trump. Well, you all have your own thing to choose in life, but if I was an American citizen now and I was voting, and don't forget this channel is not a political channel, well, I'd be voting for Kamala, bless her, or Kamala, or Kamala, or whatever you want to call her. Yeah, Mrs. Harris. I've got to be the worst person probably to talk about Mr. Musk, because I don't like saying it, but I probably find a bit more good in him than I do bad. And I know he's done some stupid things, and I know he's said some stupid things, and one of those things he's actually stating now is that, you know, about the riots that are happening in the UK at the moment, and he says, oh, there's going to be a civil war, and he feels that there's going to be a civil war in Europe as well. Well, whatever, take no notice of that. But he's had his say on X Twitter, which I have now come off anyway, and I think a lot of people have. Okay, this brings me on to something I've got to mention here, and that's symbolism. With Tesla, with cars, with anything, it mainly happens in America. Very, very rare for it to happen in the UK. But what's happening in the US at the moment is that a lot of people are saying, if you're on a Tesla, you should sell it. There's a few out there saying, I'm going to get rid of my Tesla because I don't believe what Musk is saying or who he's supporting. He shouldn't be supporting Trump. He shouldn't be commenting on anything that's, outside of his business domain. I'm going to sell my Tesla, blah, blah. So this symbolism thing, where you take an item or an inanimate object and you make it anti-Musk or anti-Trump because it's something that they've either been seen driving or it's something that they've purchased, or it's just absolutely childish. So this thing about being anti-Tesla because of what maybe Musk has said does not make any sense to me. You buy this product that I'm sitting in now because, one, you either love it, or two, it was given as a company car. Now I purchased this out of my own hard money 2.5 years ago, well before Mr. Musk made any comments about UK riots or supposedly started giving money to Trump. I'm not bloody bothered. I see this a lot at the moment on Threads, because I'm on Threads now. If you want to follow me on Threads, KKNEV, do so please. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I do a tiny bit on there. So I do see these things and I have to answer to them as part of my belief owning an EV and not just Tesla. And that is that, there's a lot of people out there that are anti-EV. So what they've done, they've jumped on the bandwagon of being anti-Musk as well, and then are using Tesla cars as a symbol of being anti-Musk. And if you don't own a Tesla, it's even worse to do it. So, you know what I'm saying here? So just back off with the childish symbolism and using an object to support your agenda or your belief in political and religious ways. I think it's just wrong. The same exists really for Volkswagen. Did it ever come to your mind that Volkswagen were massive supporters of Hitler and his people's car was made by Volkswagen, the Beetle? That's where it all came from. But has it stopped people buying Beetles? Did it stop people buying Beetles in the 50s and 60s and 70s? No, it didn't. But he was one of the worst ever in mankind, who killed millions of innocent people. But people still carried on buying Volkswagens. And it's the same as Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss was the supporter of a dictatorship, you know, an Italian dictator. But people still bought Boss suits and still do today. So don't let these objects twist the things. No, stop it. The reasons why I like Mr. Musk and what he's actually done. I love the space race. I was a massive follower when I was younger of NASA and everything they did and what they still do now. The difference being, it's not just NASA anymore, is it? Let's face it. They've had to put contracts out to tender and everything else, and they're quite happy for someone else to take the reins and pay them an amount of money and get some return. Well, you cannot deny that SpaceX hasn't given a return. Tell me one other company, and I'm not going to say it's Elon that's done this, but name me one other company that sends a rocket up to space, does its thing, separates, and then comes back down and lands vertically, and they reuse that same base rocket again.
And liftoff.
Vehicles. Stage 1. London light deployed.
That was as smooth as I'd seen it. We had phenomenal shots all the way through the landing burn. You heard the sonic booms. This booster has landed for the 8th time. That is the 89th recovery.
There is nobody in the world doing that at the moment. That has to be massive as a big thing why I like SpaceX. And yes, Elon Musk heads SpaceX. Okay, now, the Boring Company. A lot of people out there won't even know what the Boring Company is because you've not been interested in it. Well, the Boring Company bores holes. Simple as that. It's a big drilling company. And he's drilled a hole in a certain city under the ground. And it's going to be purely for electric vehicles. When it opens, when it opens, it will purely be for Teslas to begin with, believe it or not. So go and Google that, because I'm not going to go on too much about the Boring Company. But that is one of these other companies that's doing something very out of the ordinary. Now you might say, yes, but it's his billions that are creating this to happen. You're probably right. It is. But where did he get the millions and billions from? The billions have come from hard work and investments from other people and trust, and they're willing to go out and get contracts. Some people will sit on their arses all of their lives and never do anything business-wise. Now, he's made some decisions that have been very lucky ones in the past as well. Finding the right person who actually was the underpinnings of Tesla. This guy here. Yep, that's him. Wasn't Elon that set it up. He was partner. He started Tesla. Elon bought into it. I understand that. But let's look at where it's gone since those times. It's no good looking back and saying, no, he didn't start it. But he's rode that pony for 10 years, 14 years nearly, and ridden it very well and got it to the place it is now. So it's something else I cannot knock Mr. Musk for. As I said this from the start, I'm no big Musk fanboy, but I will say that overall, I've got to kind of like put my hands up and go, I don't dislike him enough to hate the guy. Now, there's a lot of people out there watching this saying, KK, you're well out of order. The man's a nutter. We shouldn't be influenced by him. He has extreme thoughts all the time. His business acumen is terrible. Blah, 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 blah. You've not opened your mind up to have a look of actually what he's done to create that wealth. And I'm sure that if you could create that wealth, you would have done exactly the same. That guy is a multi-billionaire, one of the, if not sometimes, it goes up and down, the richest man in the world. Should we sit back and listen to him? Well, yeah, I think we should. And I say that because Mr. Normal, i.e. me, if I say something, I have no influence on anybody. I can't change things. But when you've got that many followers on your own format and on other formats and that many haters, that's got to be good, because you can influence, you can make change. Now, I'm not saying that everything that Mr. Musk will do is going to be for the right thing. It won't be. Okay, I kind of said enough about Elon. I just wanted to get something out there. to make sure that people shouldn't be taking this the wrong way and hating on Tesla cars and SpaceX and the Boring Company and whatever else he's got his hands into just because of the man. Have I made myself pretty clear on that? I sit in this now and I still believe that this is one of the best cars I've ever owned. And I've had some lovely cars in the past, as you well know if you go back and look at my history on KKNEV on the channel. Yes, he's a bloody idiot at the moment. He says some stupid things, but he could always come round and change that. And if he supported Mrs. Harris a bit more, or made that connection and she made it to him, I think he'd be looked at in a different light, because I think his attitude had changed slightly. But let's face it, if you're the richest man on the planet, or one of them, it takes a lot of influence to make you change your mind. I think if we all had that super money, and once you've given a lot of it to charity, but you've still got this super money coming in, what do you do with it? You become an arsehole, as most do. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for listening to my rant on Elon Musk and his businesses. Make your own minds up. Like I say, I am no fanboy, but I'm going to end it here because I've got nothing else to say on the subject. You might see me pop up on some forums and say some bits and bobs and a few posts to support what I've said on this. I enjoyed it. Hope you're giving it some thought. I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you later.